On a nice summer day in Scotland, Angus of Clan Macpherson hears that there's a circus come to town, so he heads down to check it out. As he's walking around, he notices an elephant, and above the elephant is a sign that says this elephant is really good at guessing the age of children. What happens is a child will go stand on a platform in front of the elephant. The elephant will look the child up and down and side to side, and then take 2 steps back and stamp on the ground as many times as the child is old. Now Angus is watching this, and the elephant is spot on every time, and gets to the point where Angus is starting to think, yeah, well, that's children, but can the elephant guess the age of an adult? So Angus approaches the owner and says, now I see your elephant is really good at guessing the age of children, but I'm going to bet you $50 that your elephant cannot guess my age. And the owner says, well, mister, the elephant does guess the age of children. He's never guessed the age of a grown man before. And Angus says to the owner, well, you afraid of a little wager? So the owner, not wanting to back down, agrees to $50 that this elephant can guess Angus's age. So Angus goes up and steps up on the platform, and the elephant, like he did with the children, walks up and looks Angus up and down and side by side. But then the elephant seems a bit confused, and he tilts his head, and he goes back and he looks Angus over a few more times, and Angus is starting to think, I just made $50. Well, then the elephant gets this look on his face like he's satisfied that he knows Angus's age, takes 2 steps back, turns around, lifts his tail, blows a trumpeting fart right at Angus, turns back around and stamps on the ground twice. Now the owner is just in shock and all apologetic, and he's saying to Angus, the elephant has never done that before. I'm so sorry. This is embarrassing. And Angus holds up his hand and says, no, begobbers, he's right. I'm farty too. Kevin is an avid duck hunter and goes out one day with his dog, and the dog eventually scares up a duck. Kevin whips up his shotgun, boom, 1 shot, takes the duck down. Now, unfortunately, the duck fell on the other side of a fence, which Kevin then had to climb over to retrieve the duck. As he gets over the fence, a truck pulls up, and Farmer Jim confronts Kevin and demands to know why Kevin is on his property. Kevin explains that he shot a duck and he just was coming over to retrieve it. And Farmer Jim says, my property, my duck. And Kevin comes back with, I shot it, it's my duck. And they go back and forth with it like this for a while, until finally the Farmer Jim says, well, I'll tell you what, I challenge you to a competition, and whoever wins gets the duck. And Kevin agrees to the competition and asks what it is. And Farmer Jim says, well, first I kick you in the nuts, and then you kick me in the nuts, and we go back and forth until one of us gives up. The one who does not give up gets to keep the duck. And Kevin, he's stubborn, so he decides he's going to go on with this bet. And Farmer Jim says, my property, I go first. So Kevin agrees, and Jim walks up and just kicks him square in the nads. And Kevin drops to his knees, rolls on his side, he's in agony. He arches his back, trying to rub his kidneys to get feeling better, and this goes on for about 5-10 minutes until finally Kevin recovers enough to stand up. And he says to Farmer Jim, okay, now it's my turn. Farmer Jim looks at Kevin with a shit-eating grin and says, you can have the duck.